guys, welcome back to Piston.my. There's one car that has come to define Malaysia. It's not the Proton anymore. It's this car, the Perodua Myvi. Why? Well, consider this. It took Perodua 16 years to sell 1.5 million Myvis. In contrast, it took Proton 35 years to sell 1.8 million units of the Proton Saga. This is the latest facelifted version of the third generation Perodua Myvi, and it's absolutely fantastic. But it's more than just a facelift though. In fact, I would go so far to say that it is so good that if Elon Musk made this car, the world's media would be calling it the best car in the world. There's a lot of good things about this car, in fact, but before we go gaga over it, I want to tell you the one thing that I don't quite like. Perodua has packed a lot of goodies into it, but there's one thing that I really should tell you about, or rather warn you about. The new Myvi really is that good, as good as I say it is, in fact. But there's one thing that you should watch out for, especially in the 1.5 AV, the top of the line spec Myvi. What should you watch out for? Well, if you don't like the color red, maybe you may not like this interior because it's only available with a lot of red inside the car. There's red on the dash, there's a lot of red on the seats. But other than that, it's quite a nice car. Let's get started. So let's start with the interior, which is surprisingly well built, but no surprises there. There's a working relationship between Perodua and Toyota, so there's no surprises that all these buttons, almost every button in here, including the window controls, even the doorknob and such, everything feels like it came off a modern Toyota. So what I'm trying to say is that quality is really the name of the game over here, which is surprisingly well built. I actually really like this stitching over here around the steering wheel. The steering wheel of course not new to the Myvi, but in terms of quality, seriously very nice. Entertainment system, it comes from this 5 or 6 inch screen over here. It doesn't come with Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. It does, however, have something called Smart Link. So what it does is you're supposed to download an app onto your Android phone, and it mirrors all your frequently used applications, which should be things like GPS and your music and such. Unfortunately, if you're an Apple junkie like me, you're going to be left stranded, but I'm sure there are ways around it. So yes, entertainment system over here. Even the regular software is pretty easy to go around, so you just need to, it's like a rotary dial over here. So Bluetooth, USB, iPod, radio, Smart Link is what I was telling you about. It comes with HDMI connectivity. Turn off your screen from here. You can just turn it into a clock such as this, and yeah, it basically has almost everything you need. Sound quality wise, well, it's not that great. It sounds kind of flat, but for what it is, it's actually quite decent, especially for the money that you're paying. So it's quite alright. Yeah. Overall look and feel, very nice. The new Myvi is also surprisingly spacious. For somebody of my height, I can get quite comfortable behind here. I do wish there was more thigh support though, but besides that, it's quite a nice place to be in. It also comes with these teh tarik hooks over here, so you get one here, you get one here, and you get a more heavy duty hook over here which can carry loads of up to 3 kgs, which is perfect if you want to go tapau your chicken rice, nasi kandar or something. And what I really like about the new Myvi is it's very family oriented, right? So it also comes with an inbuilt USB port right behind the driver's seat over here. So there's a single USB port so your kids don't kick up a fuss over long distance drives. I really like the fact that, you know, back seat pockets are quite common, but the Myvi also comes with side seat pockets, which is brilliant actually. So it's a very lifestyle oriented car. You also get cup holders at the door panels and such. Overall, it also comes with isofix mounts, so which is perfect. But no surprises there, because modern cars are supposed to come with isofix mounts already. So, and just so that your rear passengers are not left claustrophobic back here, you also get very cute triangle windows just over here, if you can see my. So this lets in more light into the cabin, which makes it feel a lot more spacious and less claustrophobic. Nice place, no doubt. And what I think people will really appreciate about the new Myvi is just how spacious the boot can be. I mean, this is my laptop bag. So, as you can see, it's actually a very spacious boot for a hatchback. Quite good. Well done, Perodua. What I really like about the new Perodua Myvi is the small attention to details here and there. Let me demonstrate. So one of this is this thing. It's called the bonnet stand, right? So usually you only get one setting for the bonnet stand, but with the Myvi, you're able to get another setting over here. And what this is supposed to do is that it gives it a more steeper, or rather opens it up a lot better, so for a mechanic or even for yourself to have small space to work around the engine. The new Myvi is available in two engine specs. One is the 1.3 litre and the other is this one, the 1.5 litre naturally aspirated engine, producing about 102 horsepower and about 136 Newton meters of torque, which is plenty actually. It's mated to new CVT transmission. Perodua has got rid of the old 4-speed automatic transmission in favour of a CVT transmission. Why? Well, it's not only more powerful, it's actually 5% more fuel efficient than before. Perodua says that the new Myvi will do a little over 21 kilometers per litre, which is fantastic. Not only that, the new Myvi is actually 20% quicker than the previous generation model as well. 20%, guys. So the Myvi is already considered the king of the road here in Malaysia. There are plenty of videos out there showing the Myvi disturbing supercars and such on the road, doing some incredible stunts. Well, guess what? We're only gonna get more such videos because it's 20% quicker, which means that the new Myvi does the 0 to 100 sprint in a little over 10 seconds, which is quite brilliant actually. About 2 years ago, Perodua introduced something called a automatic smart tag reader. So what that does is, it's basically this small little thing over here. So you're just supposed to insert your touch and go card, or I'm inserting my IC, which is touch and go enabled, and then you're just supposed to press this button. It gives you your balance reading, and the smart tag sensor is actually located up here. So you're just supposed to drive through a smart tag lane. I tried it, it works wonderfully. It's actually a very handy feature to have, especially if you're sharing your car among some friends or your siblings and such. Did I mention attention to detail by Perodua? Voila. Earlier I was mentioning about the tiny details, the attention to details that Perodua has put into the new Myvi, and I'd just like to point this out. The steering wheel angle monitor, sensor or something, I think let's call it the steering wheel angle monitor. So what this does, it shows you exactly where your wheels are live. So while you're driving, it shows you where your wheels are, and this is very handy. As you go along, it disappears, right? So this is very handy to have, you know, while you're reversing and or you know, while you're parking, tells you exactly where your wheels are. This is something that I think every driver should have ingrained in their mind. But Perodua has thought that perhaps some people are not capable of that and perhaps need to be told where their wheels are. So that's really good. Let's take it for a drive. The new Myvi actually is almost as good as a car in this price segment can get. Why is that? Simply because it comes packed with safety features. So it has the usual traction control, it has the brake force distribution, it even has 6 airbags, which is quite impressive. But not only that, it actually has other things, and it features level 2 autonomous driving. So this is part of the automatic cruise control, right? So I was trying to set the car up earlier, but I think the roads that we are on, the road markers are not clearly marked out, so the car can't just pick up. But what this is supposed to do, level 2 autonomous driving, is supposed to be able to just gently steer the car. Let me try again. It's just supposed to gently steer the car back onto the correct lane that you're supposed to be on. So yeah, the car is not. So what happens is it will pick up. See, it will pick up on these two white lines that you see. See, it doesn't pick up again. But there you go. These 2 white lines. So this basically means that the car has detected the lane that you're supposed to be in. And now, see whether it's able to gently steer the car. No, it doesn't. It lost sight of the lane again, simply because of the way the road markers are marked out. So yeah, so what this is supposed to do is just supposed to gently steer the car around a corner. So, and this is handy as a safety feature, and which is very, very impressive, especially considering that this is coming from a Perodua Myvi. So this is all part of the Perodua Smart Drive Safety Assist Systems. So what this is it's basically a safety suite, and it has all sorts of features. This is known as the Advanced Safety Assist Systems, and it features pre-collision warning, pre-collision braking, pedal misoperation control, front departure alert, lane departure warning, lane departure prevention, adaptive cruise control, lane keep control, blind spot monitor, rear cross traffic alert, reverse camera, front corner sensor, rear corner sensor, and automatic high beam. So when it comes to performance, I was telling you earlier about how the new Myvi is 20% more powerful as compared to the previous generation. So I'm just going to put my foot down and let's see what happens. So you get a lot of noise. This is typical of a CVT transmission, and that's the elastic effect that CVT transmissions are so well known for. But what you're getting a lot of is that droning sound, which is also a typical character of CVT transmission. So you get, of course, power is quite decent for the Myvi, right? It's more generous, in fact. But how the car lays down that power is what I guess makes this a lot more interesting to drive than the previous generation Myvi. Of course, it's very noisy, especially during acceleration. I'll show you once again once the light turns green. But it's actually quite fun to drive, in fact, I would say. And because the steering wheel feels nice and stubby in your hands, so it gives it a very premium kind of feel when you are putting your foot down. Over 100 kilometers per hour in that short distance. I'm sure you can hear this because it's actually quite noisy. So that's a droning sound of the CVT transmission, which is typical. It's not just limited to the Myvi or something. It's a typical character of the CVT gearbox. The whining, that droning sound of the CVT transmission. It's quite okay actually, and it's acceptable simply because we know that that's a character of the gearbox. Would we have preferred automatic gearbox as compared to a CVT? Well, the CVT is more fuel efficient, more powerful, so why would you want an automatic gearbox, right? So the Myvi has proven to be very impressive. In fact, even the older generation Myvis were quite impressive from the get-go as well. But this time, with the top of the line AV model, you're actually getting quite a lot of bang for your money. The design is an obvious evolution from the previous generation models. It's actually a facelifted model from the third generation Myvi. But facelifts are not supposed to be this good. This, however, has completely blown away the competition. I really like the fact that it comes with these daytime running lights over here, which is reminiscent of Audi's earlier generation daytime running lights as well. And did I mention attention to detail? Well, the AV model comes wrapped with Goodyear Assurance tires, which are premium tires, fantastic for our weather. In fact, the entire design, look and feel, even the drive of the new Myvi, simply brilliant. So this is the car that you want if you're just starting off your career in your working life, or you're looking for a very safe alternative, very safe car to buy for your children or for your sibling. Myvi is probably the best do-it-all Malaysian car and has come to define the Malaysian automotive segment, in fact. So how much does it cost? Well, the top of the line AV model costs a little over 58,000 ringgit, which is quite a lot of money. Well, I think it's quite worth it considering the safety systems that you're getting in this car, and it's actually quite fun to drive. Even the premiumness of the interior justifies its price, as well as the spaciousness of the interior, of course. That's that about the new Perodua Myvi. If you're looking for cheaper alternatives, the new Myvi actually starts at a little over 45,000 ringgit. As usual, if you like what you see here today, do consider subscribing. I'm Kashi Dylan, and this is the new Perodua Myvi.